Wednesday.
I'm going to see him on Wednesday.
What are you going to talk with him about?
What's good to say to him?
What are you going to tell the truth?
What's your message for the G20, Mr. President?
This is my video update on this Sunday afternoon, November the 10th. Let's talk about some news. And let's start things off with the Truth Social post from the account of Donald J. Trump, where the president-elect announced that Mike Pompeo and Nikki Haley will not be in his new administration. So it looks like Trump heard the American people, his voters, his base, the world, outraged over the rumors that Pompeo was being considered for Secretary of Defense. And Nikki Haley was trying to work her way into the Trump administration as well. But it looks like Trump, he heard what everyone was saying, which was no Pompeo. Don't you dare put Pompeo into your administration. We're not so hot on Nikki Haley either. There was a hashtag that was created that was trending on Twitter in the US. The number one trending hashtag, no Pompeo. Trump got the message. He got the message loud and clear, and he posted on Truth Social, there will be no Pompeo and no neocon Nikki in his administration. What a spooky building. It's a scary building, man. Yeah, so that was the big news. And now we have Mike Rogers. The rumors that Mike Rogers is now being considered as Secretary of Defense. Mike Rogers, I believe he's on the Armed, Intel Committee, Armed Services Committee. Are we talking, I think we're talking Arkansas or Alabama? I'm not quite sure. But Rogers is also a big-time neocon. Big-time neocon, Mike Rogers. He, let's go this way so we can cross. He's super hawkish. Super pro MIC. And the reports are that he has received calls from the Trump team, but we don't know any details. The rumor is that he is going to be one of the candidates for Secretary of Defense now that Pompeo is out. So no to Mike Rogers. That has to be the new hashtag, no Mike Rogers. He's much more low profile than Pompeo, so he might have a chance of sneaking into the administration. I don't know. These are just rumors and reports. Another abandoned building, and everyone is leaving Nicosia. The Shamrock Resistance. So what else should we talk about? The BBC, they interviewed Trump campaign staffer, Brian Lanza, and he was involved in Trump's 2016 campaign as well as Trump's 2024 campaign. Mr. Lanza, and what he told the BBC, well, Elensky's not going to like it too much. He is not going to like it at all. He said that Crimea is gone. He said Crimea is gone, and Zelenskyy, he better understand that. If Elensky is thinking that when he engages with the Trump White House to discuss Project Ukraine, if he thinks that that he's going to get back Crimea, or that he's going to be able to get American soldiers to fight for Crimea, to fight Russia for Crimea, Lanza said, ain't going to happen. That's what he said. He told the BBC that the Trump White House, they will most likely be prioritizing peace ahead of the killing, peace ahead of territory. That is what they're going to prioritize. The BBC's article actually has the title, Trump ally says Ukraine focus must be peace, not territory. Interesting that they use the word territory. They know that that the Zelenskyy regime is hyper-focused. The collective West, the entire collective West is hyper-focused on territory. So that's what Brian Lanza said. The U.S. priority would be to achieve peace and stop the killing. Lanza also said, and I quote, when Zelenskyy says we will only stop this fighting, there will only be peace once Crimea is returned. We've got news for President Zelenskyy. Crimea is gone. Boy, that's going to upset Elensky. The Banderites are going to be very upset. And if the Banderites are upset, then Elensky is going to be very afraid. Lanza also said, and if that is your priority of getting Crimea back and having American soldiers fight to get Crimea back, you're on your own. Speaking of Zelenskyy, if your priority is to get American soldiers to fight for Crimea, you're on your own. Interesting choice of words, huh? Crimea is gone, and you're on your own. He then went on to say, and if President Zelenskyy comes to the table and says, well, we can only have peace if we have Crimea, he shows to us that he's not serious. Crimea is gone. You're on your own. Elensky, you're on your own. And Elensky's not serious. Interesting choice of words from Lanza. So Fico, the Prime Minister of Slovakia, he was giving a radio interview the other day, and Fico said what I was saying yesterday, that Elenskyy is afraid, very afraid that the war will end, according to Fico. Fico said, and I quote, have you ever seen a person who is afraid that the war will end? ? I saw him, and his name is Vladimir Elensky. Elensky seemed shocked that Trump won and that there could be a halt to aid from the United States. Fico also said in this interview that the European Union is screwed. Once the US pulls out, the EU is trying to fool itself in believing that it can take over all of the responsibilities, the expenses, the weapons, everything, to keep Project Ukraine afloat. And Fico basically said that this is nonsense. This is ridiculous talk. So that's what Fico said. Elenskyy is afraid the war will end. So Donald Trump Jr., he posted on Instagram, man, things are looking bad for Elenskyy, really bad. He posted on Instagram, Trump Jr., let's cross. So this is kind of new. Kind of a new mini park. So he posted on Instagram an image of Elensky with dollar bills falling down with the message, "You're 38 days from losing your allowance." Oof. That's coming from Trump Jr. Not looking good for Elensky. Not looking good at all. So Trump is going to be meeting with Biden, I believe, on Wednesday. Donald Trump will meet in the Oval Office of the White House on Wednesday morning. Yep. This is traditional that the current president, is Biden the current president? That the current president meets with the incoming president, meets with the president-elect? Should Biden and Harris be there? I don't know. Or is it just going to be Biden? I always get confused with the whole Biden-Harris campaign election thing. But yeah, Trump is going to be meeting with the professor. I have a picture in my head that when Trump enters the Oval Office to meet with Biden, a lot of people are saying this is going to be a very tense meeting, and they're going to try to get along, but obviously they don't like each other. I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking the exact freaking opposite. I'm seeing Trump walking into the Oval Office, and the evil genius that is Biden looking at Trump and going, "We did it." We did it. I told you we'd get it done. Hunter and Jill in the background in the corner, just nodding their head, laughing, maybe giving a thumbs up, maybe wearing a MAGA hat. Yeah, that's how I picture this meeting. And what's this about? Shall we go down? Let's see what's going on at this new park. So what's this going on with the Senate? I read a tweet from Tucker Carlson, a post from Tucker this morning, talking about how Mitch McConnell is looking to sabotage Trump by calling an early vote, a secret early vote for the next Senate leader, because McConnell, he's not going to be leading the Senate and the Republicans. And instead of waiting, he called an early secret vote, and he's trying to get John Cornyn, or who's the other guy? There's three people who are looking to lead the Senate. There's Cornyn. I think the other guy is Toon, John Toon, and I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. Both of these guys are super anti-Trump, rhino. They hate the America First movement, neocons. And then you have Rick Scott, who is the one candidate who is pro-Trump, pro-America First. And this is McConnell's way, because McConnell despises Trump. This is his way of sabotaging Trump, trying to prevent Rick Scott from taking over the Senate and trying to put someone to lead the Senate that is going to make Trump's life difficult. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I saw this post from Tucker, and Tucker is telling everyone, don't let this happen. He says, call your senator and demand a public endorsement of Rick Scott. Don't let McConnell get away with it again. Yeah, secret ballot is what Tucker is saying. On Wednesday, there's going to be a secret ballot. He says that Cornyn is indistinguishable from Liz Cheney. Mitch McConnell engineers a coup against his agenda by calling early leadership elections in the Senate a coup against Trump's agenda. So that's what Tucker posted on X. And we got the news that the Biden White House, they are going to be sending 500 Patriot and NASAMS interceptors to Ukraine. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. 500. Sounds like a lot, huh? Nope. These 500 interceptors for the air defense systems, they're hoping that maybe this will last until the end of 2024. That's what they're hoping. Because Ukraine's air defense systems are in tatters, I tell you. And so they're rushing out 500 interceptors. But Lord Bebo says 500 interceptors is 250 interception attempts, 2 per missile. Russia could do 1 big missile raid and deplete it, though likely some will be hunted down and destroyed in warehouses and don't reach the actual batteries. Yeah, some of them will be destroyed, hunted down and destroyed. And then all Russia's going to do is they're going to send in a ton of drones into Kiev, because I imagine these interceptors, they're going to be used to protect the 3 main cities, Kiev, Odessa, Lvov. And Russia's going to send in a lot of drones. 500 interceptors, 2 interceptors per missile. Russia's going to deplete this in weeks. They'll be lucky to make it to the end of 2024. And the end of 2024 is a month and a half away. So they're hoping that this will keep Elensky afloat, the Ukraine military afloat, at least until to the end of 2024. And then they're going to try and put together something. Mark my words, they're going to try and put something together to get Elensky past January 20th. That's their latest goal. They got through the elections, November. They got through the November elections without Ukraine collapsing. Putin even said as much. He said that in Kursk, the order was to stay in Kursk, do not collapse until after the elections, because it'll look bad for Harris. So they managed to get through that milestone. And the next milestone, the final one, is January 20th, the inauguration. Because after January 20th, they're Audi 5000, man, all of them. The Professor, Sullivan, Austin, Blinkety, Blinken, Kirby, they're all gone. They've got their book deals lined up. They've got their think tank jobs lined up, their NGO positions, on the board of various NGOs. And some of them will probably have a show on MSNBC or CNN, or who knows what gigs they're going to be getting. I wouldn't be surprised if MSNBC launches a news show with Kamala Harris as the anchor. Unburdened with Kamala Harris. Possible, probable, who knows? She'll be much happier. She will be much happier if she's a TV personality, no doubt about it. So desperation, what it is desperation. They're just doing everything they can to try and get Ukraine over the inauguration mark now. So Medvedev put out another amazing, interesting, thought-provoking post on X. He said, "It's actually hilarious to look at the terrified faces of European establishment mutts who used to call Trump a Russian asset and who are now soiling themselves as they rush to kiss the boots of their new master." Isn't it interesting that you have all of these EU leaders who were calling Trump the nastiest of names? The nastiest of names. Terrible names they were calling Trump. For the last 4 years, they've been calling Trump the worst things you could possibly call a human being. They were saying that Trump is a Putin puppet. He is doing the bidding of Russian President Vladimir Putin. That's what they said. Consistently, over and over again, they were saying, Putin controls Trump. Trump is controlled by Putin. And now they're kissing Trump's butt. So they're kissing the butt of the person that Vladimir Putin controls, right? Is that what's going on here? They're kissing the butt of Putin's puppet. The EU leaders. Medvedev. Guy never holds back, man. He never holds back. Medvedev. Borrell was in Kiev, and he announced that the EU is very close to a 15th sanctions package. He said the EU is readying the 15th sanctions package against Russia, targeting foreign-made components found in Russian weaponry. In other words, they're going to start sanctioning India and China and Turkey, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, I don't know. They're going to start sanctioning all the countries that do business with Russia because they're providing component parts to Putin's war machine, his war machine, as Ursula says. They are helping Putin's war machine, as Ursula is in Budapest talking about how the EU is purchasing LNG from Putin's war machine, right? Shouldn't the EU sanction the EU? Because Ursula has admitted that the European Union is buying LNG gas. And so the 15th sanctions package should be sanctioning the European Union. That's what they should be sanctioning. Who knows? They'll probably get there, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if they get there. Sanctions package 26. The European Union has announced sanctions against the European Union. That'll show Putin. I read that in Germany, I think Audi is going to be laying off thousands of people, closing down some plants or something like that. I also read that Bosch, the appliance maker, they're laying off 7,000 people. I'm not sure if I have the numbers right, but Germany is getting crushed, man. Getting absolutely crushed. Next to Ukraine, Germany is the big loser in all of this. Probably that was the plan all along. On the front lines, the reporting is that the Russian military, they're closing in on Kurakovo, which is the next city that they will be taken. From what I understand, they're not looking to go straight into Kurakovo, but they're going to bypass it and surround it. If I'm reading this right, if I'm looking at the map right. And Donald Tusk, he is going to be meeting, I believe he's going to be meeting with the UK, with Keir Starmer, and NATO officials, Mark Rutte, and they're going to be talking about what to do with Trump administration with regards to Project Ukraine. Now, Tusk, he denied that he ever said anything bad about Trump. That's what this guy actually came out and said. He said, I never said anything bad about Trump. And then all the videos surfaced of Tusk at an event saying really bad stuff about Trump. So now it looks like Tusk is saying, oh crap, I better meet with the UK. I imagine the Baltic nations will be there as well. So Poland, NATO, the Baltics. And they want to figure out, what do we do? What do we do with Project Ukraine now that all signs point to some sort of U.S. disengagement? I don't know what it's going to be. And maybe it's not going to be anything. There's always the possibility. Maybe Trump doesn't disengage from Ukraine, but I can't see it. I think he's going to have to. If the no Pompeo decision is a sign of anything, it means that the Trump team, they're listening. They are listening, and the people, the American people, they're going to hold Trump to his promises. That's how I'm looking at it. I don't know. I could be completely wrong about this. I'm not in the United States, so I don't know. But I think the American people, they want whatever Trump promised. They want him to to keep his word. And I think Trump is going to. I don't know. I could be wrong. And maybe he's going to escalate. Maybe he talks to Putin and they don't get along, and who knows? Everything goes to hell. But I don't see it. I don't see it. Trump was always making fun of Elensky on the campaign trail. He was always saying, Elensky comes to the United States and he leaves with $200 billion. He was always saying that, so I don't know. And then if you go by Trump Jr.'s post on Instagram, I think that signals something. But Tusk is in a panic. Poland's in a panic. The Baltic states are panicking. NATO, I would say NATO's kind of 50-50. I think on the one hand, NATO is saying good because Trump is going to get everyone to contribute a lot more than 2% to the NATO washing machine. But on the flip side, losing in Ukraine means that NATO was defeated by Russia. Admitting your loss in Ukraine is an admission that Russia defeated NATO. And that's not going to be good for the alliance. We will see. Let's do some clown worlds and wrap this Sunday video up. So there's a video game that is going to be released in December, towards the end of December, with the title Escape from Ukraine. Yep, Escape from Ukraine. And Elensky is the main character in this video game, and he's running around, I imagine, Kiev. I don't know. some images, he's in the United States. I think I saw some images where he's close to the White House. I'm not sure what's going on, but he's trying to escape Ukraine and get to the U.S., I guess. And that's the video game as things are firing at him and he's dodging various items. Escape from Ukraine. Elensky. The Elensky video game. Not a good sign for Elensky. The news is that the Harris campaign, they paid Oprah $1 million for her interview. And then she spent $100,000 on building the set of the Call Her Daddy podcast so she could be interviewed in LA. And the Kamala Harris campaign raised $1 billion, and they're now $20 million in debt. And they're sending emails out to their supporters asking them to continue to contribute money to the Harris campaign so that they can recount some of the ballots and stuff like that. But that's their way of, basically this is their way of trying to plug the $20 million hole that they have. $1 billion she raised. $1 billion. Wow. And she's $20 million in debt. All of the entertainers were paid. All of them. All the Hollywood actors, all the singers. It was a gig. It was a job. It's all fake. All fake. The whole thing was fake. Their support for Harris, some of them, most of them probably supported Harris, genuinely supported Harris, but they were just doing another gig, another job, acting and performing on stage. Well, Beyonce didn't even perform on stage. She didn't even sing. She's like, give me my money. I'll say a couple of words and I'm out of here. They're all actors, all of them, including the man in the green t-shirt. Good thing Kamala Harris is not running the U.S. economy, huh? 20 million in debt. And then we have the story. I don't know how reliable this is, but it's coming from Fox News. They're saying that Richard Gere is selling his Connecticut home for $11 million after announcing he's leaving the U.S. Richard Gere is gone. Where's he going to go? I don't think he'll go to China. He put out a very bad movie about China, Richard Gere. Forgot the name of that movie. Boy, was it a bad movie against China. So yeah, he's not going to go to China. Where's he going to go? Where is Richard Gere going to move to? I don't know. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and X. Go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch like this hoodie that I am wearing in this video, or the t-shirt that I'm wearing today with the flag of Bulgaria. A link to the Duran shop is in the description box down below. Take care.